Hey guys, welcome to Night Owls. Hey Sasha, how you
Hey,
doing?
good. How are you?
I got an excitement. I wasn't expecting Sasha here at the Wolf Slayer tonight, and she just showed up. So thank you
Yeah,
for showing up, Sasha.
you're welcome.
We yeah, it's nice. It's always nice to see my wife.
Yeah.
So she showed up, so it's nice. Uh, because she still has her apartment, so we are in the process of doing that moving. But it's great to be here, guys. Let's see. We do the show usually every Sunday night when we're in the mood. This is a different type of show I do every week. We can talk politics, whatever you guys want, and sometimes we go like 15 minutes, other times like a couple hours. It just depends on what we want to talk about and your interaction. So it's our informal show.
Well, hopefully we'll end up getting to do the whole show because the weather is kind
Yeah,
of
that's the
stormy
thing.
right now.
This is the time in, well, of course, Biden and his people. Oh no, it's because of MAGA. We have tornadoes now in the spring.
Yeah.
They do literally.
We've always had tornadoes.
I
in the
know they're
spring.
such liars, and
That's
we've had.
stupid.
If you're familiar with this area, guys, every spring is because, well, you get the warm air coming from the Gulf coming up, and
Right.
you still have the cold air, and they combine. And over like Oklahoma and Arkansas and Kansas, all this, you get these big ass in Sulphur, Oklahoma. You saw that? It looked horrid.
Yeah, I felt bad for the people.
It just wiped out that small town in Oklahoma, big tornado, and just I can realize it because Sasha and I last night we were in Oklahoma.
We were, and it was pretty.
And we were
stormy.
driving out of Tulsa. It was coming down so hard in Tulsa at the time, you could hardly see the road.
Mhm.
It was just a deluge. And then by the time we got out for a bit, the rain abated and it wasn't too bad. But wow, it was crazy. I told Sasha, did I tell you this feels like tornado weather?
Mhm.
I did. You could feel it. If you've been in the Midwest, it just has a feel in the air that, yeah, we're going to get a tornado or it's going to be a tornado. It's hard to explain, really.
Mhm.
But if you've ever been here, you just get the vibe. And
Well, it
there
gets
was,
dark and windy, and
yeah, but it also is kind of muggy, and you just get
Mhm.
that still feeling. It just feels ominous, and we had that feeling yesterday, and there was a big tornado. Thankfully, it didn't hit us, but every April, May, and I'm a kind of a weather guy. I like to track weather, as Sasha knows, every day on my spreadsheet. But April, May are very wet months, and this time of year we get the big thunderstorms. In fact, just now is thundering. And before the show started, Sasha hopes, hopefully we have a good long show because you don't know if we're going to get
right,
lose our
goes
power.
out.
In fact, last week I did. There was a
You did.
thunderstorm. Briefly, I lost my power. So
I like this weather though.
it's kind of neat.
It's
And
better than winter. It's better than summer.
yeah, it's definitely not as cold, and you don't have the air conditioning on, but you don't have to put the heat on.
Right. It
So it
feels
is kind of
good.
nice, and it is neat to sit on the porch and hear the rain come down in the woods.
Like when I drove over, it was kind of dark, and so the
Yeah,
sun wasn't in my face. It was kind of nice.
yeah. I mean, there's a part of it, and that creek I live nearby. Did you see how big it is? It's really
I didn't
full.
really look.
So sometimes there's a creek I live nearby. By the end of the summer, it's usually dry, but now it's pretty full. So yeah, so that's the weather here, and I hope you guys are having good weather. But we blame that on climate change and MAGA and all of that. So yesterday we went to the '80s prom in Tulsa, and this was the second one I've been to. How many have you been to, Sasha?
I think I counted 6.
And what it is it's the first time I went, I thought I was going to really hate it. I have to be honest because I'm not a big dancer. But you know what I found? No guys really hardly dance. Women dance, like Sasha's all out there dancing crazy, and a lot of other girls are. And guys, all you have to do, and I learned this, is just act like a big fat drunk guy with a drink in your hand
Yeah.
and just kind of sway. That's all you have to do. And it's not even hard. You don't even have to break a sweat.
Yeah.
So while the girl's like doing this, you're just like, yeah, just kind of swaying.
I saw people actually dancing together though. I saw a couple, and they were like doing a whole.
Well, there was a
dance.
couple that's almost doing like they were in country dancing. They're doing the high twirling and all that type
Yeah.
of stuff. So I told Sasha I was going to do the worm, but I didn't do that. So, didn't they do that in the 80s? Is that when they
think
did
so.
break dancing? Remember
That was
break
the 80s.
dancing?
Yeah, breakdancing was pretty cool.
Because I remember they were saying, "Oh, black gangs are not going to shoot each other anymore. They're going to settle their disputes by doing breakdancing." I'm like, "Yeah, that didn't work out well, did it?"
Too bad. Breakdancing's fun.
Yeah. So I was gonna do the robot and the worm, but I just couldn't do that. So instead, I did the drunk guy, the fat drunk guy that just kind of sways dance. So it was but I have to admit, I didn't feel self-conscious because there's so many people on the floor. In fact, it's kind of crowded.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not bad. A lot of people dress up like in the 80s or from characters like Beetlejuice, and they have a costume contest. They have really loud music, and it was fun. The time beforehand was better. I think they had a better DJ, but
Well, then they had the set, like they have the stage set up,
Mhm.
and last time they had Pee-wee's Playhouse. It was
that
so
was
cool.
nice. Yeah,
And this time it was supposed to be big,
yeah.
I guess, but it didn't look as cool.
The
to
movie
me.
Big they're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, because that was an 80s movie, huh?
Yes.
I like that movie. You don't like it?
It's okay.
Yeah,
I should see. Well, I should watch it again. Honestly, it's
Well,
been so many years.
It's a cute movie. It's not like there's some funny lines in it. It's a classic. I like it.
They had a lot of those type of movies back in the 80s, like vice versa. I actually remember that better, but that's where
Mhm.
Fred Savage and Judge Reinhold switch bodies. They're like father and son, and there's like some kind of curse,
Yeah.
or something, and they switch. And so Fred
Mhm.
Savage is like this kind of lawyer type guy, and then his dad's acting like a kid, kind of like
Yeah.
Big. I think they kind of like got the idea from Big, because I think it was the first one, but it was pretty good.
So it was a lot of fun. If you guys ever get a chance to go do something like that, that's one thing I'm thankful to Sasha, because if it wasn't for Sasha, I would not do any of this stuff. I would just stay home and just veg. So Sasha keeps me busy, because I had to figure, okay, I'm just going to sit around, wait till die, and we're going to keep active. So Sasha keeps me active, so I'm out there and doing stuff. And there was a big age group there, but they were mostly older people.
Yeah, probably like middle-aged people.
40s, 50s, would you say?
Yeah,
So,
probably people that grew up in the 80s. But
I think there was some
too.
young people, but it was mostly that. So it was, I don't know if you guys like dancing, but I never really got into it. But I admire really good dancers, but I've never really been into it. So, but I enjoyed it because I learned that fat drunk guy sway, so I don't have to really do anything. We had a good time, but then when we left, it was about 11:30 midnight.
11:30.
Yeah, and it was just a deluge. It was just pouring, and we ran to the car, and then they have construction, of course, going on in the highway, so it was dark, raining, and the streets were flooding. It was a pain in the ass, and I knew a tornado was going to come somewhere in Oklahoma. It didn't hit Tulsa, but a town called Sulphur wiped out. So it's kind of, it can be scary. I don't think I would get ever a tornado here because I'm in the mountains.
Yeah, I don't think Fayetteville's had a tornado
Fayetteville's
since
pretty
like
hilly
1950.
too.
Yeah.
Really, there's a lot of steep
We had
hills in
warnings
Fayetteville.
and stuff. Like there's this one guy that lived in this apartment complex I lived in, and I worked nights and I was asleep, and he came over there banging on the door. Oh my God, a tornado! And he just got me all riled up, and
Yeah,
I'm like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do about it?
yeah, because I don't really
And
have
then,
basements here.
Yeah, and then like nothing happened. So thanks for waking me up.
When I lived in Oklahoma, and whenever there was a tornado, everyone would run outside, try to see it. It was kind of funny. So it's not like what you think. Everyone go to shelter. It was like, oh, let's go out, take a look,
Yeah. Well, I remember we were moving one time, and a couple of my friends were helping.
Yeah.
And this woman and her husband were like, everybody get into the laundry room. And we got in there, and Brando was like, there's all these windows in here. He goes, this is a horrible idea, because they like herded us in there, and it's like we'd been safer in our apartment.
Yeah. It's so, and then come this fall, the Gulf states will get their hurricanes, and of course, all the climate change weirdos will act like this is the first time we've ever had a hurricane.
Right.
So that's how the bad weather's predictable. I don't really mind this time of year because when the rains stop, usually mid-June, that's when it gets hot here, and it stays hot until September. So we're kind of in the last phase before it really gets hot.
Yeah.
And it's not too bad. The other thing is, because when it rains a lot here, the stupid grass grows so fast this time of year. By the summer, it's slower, and so I'm always mowing everywhere. Guys, thank you. If you want to interact with the show, we have power chats. We always love that. We have super chats on YouTube. Rumble
Rants.
has rants
Stream
and
elements.
stream elements. So just help. The more you guys contribute, the more longer we stay on. And just so you know, we haven't forgot. Sasha's got a whole list of songs she's going to sing karaoke for because she said, "Hey, if anyone gives me $20, I'll do a karaoke song." Because Sasha sings really well.
Oh, okay.
And so we already got a bunch lined up. But if you want to donate more, will you do more?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, so yeah, $20. She'll do it. We got the list, so thank you guys for that. She's got that set up. And so we had the so let me just think what else happened. So that was this weekend. So that was a lot of fun. And I have a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Let me just see what I did. The 80s dance to tornado. We'll get into
the dog thing.
Well, I want to thank a couple people first
Oh, yeah,
too.
okay.
I want to thank Michael D. He's in Belgium, I believe it is.
Yes.
And he's always sending us really cool stuff. Thank you so much, Michael D. And he gives Sasha likes like horror magazines. What horror magazine did he send?
Scream, and then he sent The Dark. I think it's called The Dark Side. Is that what it's called? The other one.
Oh, really?
It's got more old school.
Yeah, it's back in your apartment. I left on the table.
Yeah, I saw it there.
And I want to, and Sasha doesn't know this, Joe Biden Depends. He sent a mail with $40. So thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so thank you, Joe Biden. I really do appreciate that. And that's just a couple of shout outs we wanted to do. And we actually got Sasha got a karaoke request in our mail. So she's going to be doing that too.
I'm going to try to do them next week.
Yeah, it just seems like, I mean, it's good. It's just Sasha and I were talking about, I don't know if this is in your guys' life. We just are doing so much stuff that this year is really going quick already.
Well, and it's because I have to clean that house.
Well, it's more than that. We do so much. Yeah.
Because all that stuff is like.
And we don't really have a movie review this week. I don't think so much. Sasha did go to a movie today with Brandon, her friend.
We saw Spirited Away. And it was full too. I would say that it probably sold out. He said he thought it sold out.
Really?
It was packed.
And that's a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
By Japanese
and I didn't really remember. I saw it back like right after it came out. And the person I watched it with made us watch it like in Japanese and you had to read the subtitles. And that's fine. But it's like the stories aren't just like typical fairy tales. So you have to kind of pay attention. Right. And I like to kind of soak it all in. And it's harder when you have to like read too.
Did you have to read today?
No.
Okay.
We saw it dubbed. And it was good. I mean, they get good voice actors and stuff. But it just makes it easier not to have to like, I don't have to.
For people don't know, what was the movie about?
It's about this girl and her parents. They're moving to a new place and her parents take this detour and there's all this good food there. And the parents just start eating all this food and they don't stop and they turn into pigs. And then she has to go she goes to try to get help or whatever.
It sounds like an anti-American
She ends up
movie.
working at like a bathhouse.
Wow.
And
a prostitute?
No. She's a kid. No, it's just like where people go to bathe.
Oh, okay.
And there's this weird creature there and he makes like gold and he gives it to people and he eats them. And she makes friends with this other guy. That's what I mean. It's like there's a lot going on in this movie.
And it's Japanese.
Yes, but it's really good. And the animation's really good. Yes, and I love the music.
This anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
They came out in like 2004, I think.
All right.
So, but I didn't remember it. And like I saw it, like I said, like almost 20 years ago.
And I didn't go, one reason, because it's not a genre that interests me very much. And number two, I had my roundtable. And by the way, if you guys we had a great roundtable today. If you're not part of it, sign up, only $5 a month, which is super cheap. So I did that instead. And so and that's one of the things Sasha and I do. I think is, I don't know, if we split up, it'll backfire on us, but we do our own things. We were not like really super dependent on to do everything together.
But we like to do stuff together.
We do a lot of stuff, yeah, but stuff like that.
But I wouldn't force him to go like watch a movie he doesn't really want to watch because I can get like either Mosca or Brandon to go.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do you?
Well, I had the round table to do.
Yeah, and you had that.
Yeah. So,
because it's just a waste of money in my mind. Like I pay like $15 because those movie tickets for those special movies are more than the regular tickets are. $15, and it's like, why waste $15? if you don't really like the movie.
And we got into this whole ethical dilemma because I like to sneak food in the theater because it's so damn expensive.
I do too, but we do buy popcorn sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Stubbs member, so you get sometimes if you go to so many movies, you'll get like free popcorn and stuff.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you got a super chat from Dylan.
Oh, Dylan's a great guy. Have you ever considered wearing a Burger King hat and one of your round tables?
You should.
I would. Yes, I would. If
I'll
so,
have to go to Burger King and get you a little
I
hat.
definitely would wear a Burger King
That's
hat.
funny.
So it was kind of funny. Do we want to tell the story about last night a little bit about, or you'd rather not?
About what?
The wardrobe.
No, we don't have to talk about it.
But we went to, one of the things I will say, we went to Walmart in
Oklahoma.
Tulsa. Boy, that was depressing.
It
Wasn't it?
was.
It was like I don't know, what would you say the white percentage was?
Probably like 10% or 20%.
Yeah, I was being nice. Say 20% is like, wow. The demographics have changed so much in this country, and the people that were there look so stupid. It was.
Well, the guy was ringing me up, and it was a pajama set, and he like scanned like the top, and then he was looking all over for the bottom.
And he
for
wasn't
the tag,
white.
And I'm like, they're the same. It's the same. It's for both of them.
And I don't think he was Mexican. He looks like he was from Ecuador or something.
Yeah.
But he looked really dumb. I mean, it's depressing when you see all that. So yeah, we had to stop at Walmart, get some stuff, and it was just like so that happened.
You
so
could wear a Burger King. That would be funny.
I would do that. So that'd be all right. I wanted to talk a little bit.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about the big news.
Oh no, no.
What was that Robert thing? Did you already read that one?
Well, that was
that's old.
That was it from the other day. Yeah. So thank you.
Oh, there's the new stuff there.
Yeah, here I'll just share this, and we'll go through this because it started some controversy even on the right, and I don't know. Here, if you guys don't know the story, the governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, she's kind of a big name. In fact, a lot of people, they were thinking that she would be a good chance of being Trump's VP pick. But after the story broke now, according to the online gambler, she crashed. And and we'll explain the story. Now Tim Scott, the base black guy, I don't want him. I want JD Vance.
I don't think Nikki Haley would be, unless Trump's suicidal, because that would be a way to tank him too, because everybody hates her.
Yeah,
Ben Carson. Why didn't he pick Ben Carson over that other guy?
Sleepy Ben. Yeah, I don't know.
Over that Tim Scott guy.
I don't. He may do Tim Scott, base black guy.
Who is Elise Stefanik?
I don't even know.
I've heard that name.
Is that the guy in some band from the 80s or something? Kind of sounds like him.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Elise Stefanik. Oh, I should know this. And then, but look at Kristi Noem. She just fell in the bottom here, so she's not doing well. I'm gonna get the Google machine and see who this is.
Elise Stefanik.
It's an America. It's a woman.
I think is she like Maine or something? I think I have seen her before.
She's from New York. She's a representative from New York. She's just some woman. So that's it's funny because Trump plays that game too of
identity politics.
Yeah, they do. Like Tim Scott's an identity politics,
right? Because why couldn't he pick Vivek?
He's not even on there. Pick JD Vance. Pick a white guy.
Yeah, he should.
So that would be.
I think JD Vance would be awesome if he picked JD Vance.
Well, I'm just looking at this. Wow, of all his VP odds, there's only one white man. Because Tim Scott's a black guy. He's like the black preacher type. He is. And Elise, we just some broad from New York. JD Vance, I like him. He's kind of hillbilly elegy. Nikki Haley's, God knows what she is. Indian, right? Or something?
Yeah, Indian.
Ben Carson is a black guy. Marco Rubio is some sort of, wasn't his Hispanic?
From Cuba or something?
I think so. Well, and Kristi Noem's not a man. So, this is where we are in the Republican Party.
How come Vivek's not on there?
I don't know. I thought he
would have Vivek. Maybe he's going to put him somewhere else.
Well, that's the gambling odds. I don't know why the gamblers don't put him on there. But we will talk about what the story happened, though. Kristi Noem was considered one of the leaders to be the vice president running mate. And she came out with a book just the other day. And in the book, she talked about years ago, there was this dog named Cricket. It was 14 months old. And there was an issue with it hunting and it chased a chicken or something. So she shot the dog. And that created a whole firestorm on the internet of her being a puppy killer. And
she killed a goat
and
for
a
no
goat, too.
reason.
Yeah.
And goats are cool. Like we had goats. My dad loved goats and dogs, and we would never just kill them like she did.
Yeah. Okay. Here it is. She self-admitted shooting her 14-month-old wire-haired pointer puppy. And that really, I don't, there's a couple things. We can talk about the politics of this and we can talk about the morality of this. So forget the morality if you think it's right or wrong. This is incredibly stupid politically. You do not want to go down when you're running for politics and standing by and bragging that you killed a puppy. That's just not good optics. And you could say the reasons to try to rationalize it, and we'll get into that, which I disagree with. But it's just dumb. And I don't think she can recover from this. No. I really don't. And so I think this has effectively ended her career.
It has.
I know that sounds like, oh, for killing a puppy, it ends your career. But yeah, it does.
It should. Because, I mean, she can't control her emotions.
Yeah.
That you just go psycho and kill a dog with a gun.
Well, she said she hated the dog.
Yeah.
And what it did.
Now people are saying like, oh, he attacked her. I don't think he attacked her.
Well,
she
didn't say that in the book. Now she's saying that.
Okay. So she's trying to do damage control.
Right. She's saying that after it killed the chicken, it went to attack her, which I call bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I know dogs fairly well, and that's not an aggressive breed. And the dog will go after a chicken unless you train it. And we're going to talk about that, but I don't think it attacked her. But even if that just didn't happen. She's
just trying to do damage control because everyone saw how fucked up this was, and she doesn't have a good excuse, so she's making up shit like, "Oh, it tried to bite me."
Well, here's a photo of her in camos with the gun there.
Are you supposed to act like that when you're holding a gun?
No, you aren't.
That's pretty irresponsible.
She's trying to do the. I mean, I LARP as tongue in cheek. I know I do it as a Southerner because I'm not really raised here. I have the Confederate battle flag up. I really love this area, but I know I'm not a real Southerner. But she's like this. She's a very wealthy woman, and they own a ranch, and she just likes to do these bullshit photos of her holding a gun and trying to be, I'm a badass. And I really thought why it was in the book. In her mind, it would show her like she is the boss girl, and if she'll kill a puppy, Putin better not cross her because she'll,
Right.
And it's a problem a lot of women get, not all women, but a lot of women, they overcompensate because they think, oh, people are going to think I'm weak because I'm a woman.
Like female cops do this.
Right. So I have to be more aggressive than a man. And then they do stupid shit like this because real men, they want to brag about.
Well, that bitch was killing bears and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, why are you killing a bear? Like, you're not going to eat the bear. Just leave the bear alone. Why are you even out there?
Yeah.
I hate trophy hunters.
And she said she hated the dog in the book, and so she shot it in the
And I don't understand why she just couldn't give it to somebody to train it. She's got money. She's a governor. Right. She couldn't hire somebody to train the dog if she didn't really want to. People do that. We know somebody that did that. If you don't have the time or whatever, I get it. You're governor. You're probably pretty busy, and you don't have time to train your dog. Just pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
They have animal schools and things. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
We'll talk about we'll talk about the morality of this first and some of the arguments, and I just want to deal with this. First of all, I don't really like this argument. People make a lot of times people in life, they make a false dichotomy argument. It's like you either support Israel or you support Hamas. There's no other options. Or you support Ukraine or you're a Putin bot. It's like, no, you can't support America. So they give you a false choice. Here, a lot of people I've seen online says, oh, okay, so you either have to, if you oppose killing a puppy, but that means you support killing babies, human babies. And it's no, you can be against abortion and against killing puppies.
Right.
And I'm not saying a puppy is the same standard as a human, but I'm just saying you don't have to do either or. And I don't understand this callous nature some people, not everyone, but on the right has with, I mean, animals. I mean, Mr. Mustache Man from, years ago, he was really kind with animals.
Well, I saw a lot of these professional like trads or whatever they're called that have all these kids and stuff saying like, "Oh, I wouldn't want animals in the house since my kids are born. I don't care about them. They're just baby substitutes." It's like you can like kids and cats
Yeah,
and
you
dogs.
can have,
Like,
when
you
I
can like
was,
animals. When I was a kid, there was kids and
exactly.
animals. I don't get it.
When my brother and I were little kids, we had pet dogs and cats. So it's not like you have to choose one or the other. You can have both. And I think you should treat animals. I'm not against hunting and I eat meat. So I understand that. But at the same time, I think, especially when you have like a dog, you have a responsibility. And it frustrates me because I spend a lot of time training dogs, and dogs can be trained not to go after chickens.
Mhm.
They really can. And they can be trained to do a lot of things. She just didn't take the time to train the dog properly. It's on her, not the dog.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of
And-
people say that whole abortion thing though, which is stupid. They're like, "Oh, the left doesn't care if you kill your baby," and it's like, it doesn't matter. Like you said, you don't have to agree with either thing.
Right. It doesn't
this
mean
whole
that
thing,
I'm
too.
against killing a 14-year-old dog, 14-month-old dog that I have to support.
Just
killing
give it to
babies.
the freaking animal shelter.
Right. If she's not going to spend time.
And if it was so-called dangerous, like she says, the Michael Vick dogs, they got taken by Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, and they were able to train them.
I'm saying right off, because I've been with a lot of dogs, she's lying. That dog did not attack her.
Yeah.
Because based on the breed, based on dogs usually want to attack the owner, this just didn't add up.
Yeah.
She's just doing that for damage control. But so she's really trying to cultivate her image as like the badass boss girl. And I think this is going to really backfire on her. And she could try to explain it, but it's one of those things. If you're reduced in your campaign to trying to explain why it's okay to kill puppies, you've already lost.
Well, what's the goat excuse? I hear all these people defending this bitch about the dog, like, "Oh, I tried to attack her and all this shit." Okay, well, what about the goat? Why did she just kill a goat?
It's something like it was smelly or
goats
something.
Stink. Have you ever petted a goat? Like if you
pet
a
your dad
goat,
had
their
goats,
hands, your hands, you have to wash your hands because they smell. But they're nice animals.
Right.
We had tons of goats,
and
it's like they never attacked anybody or did anything. I don't know why you would get rid of your goat or kill it. I mean, yeah, get rid of it, fine, whatever. And somebody said she's a rancher. It's like, yeah, right. Like she's some rich woman that pretends to be a rancher. Do you really think she's out there hurting the animals? It's like in Dallas, the TV show. They probably have people that work on the ranch. She's not. If she's governor, if she's the governor, I doubt she's doing much more than maybe riding a horse for fun.
And well, she puts on her cowboy boots and hat, and she does photo ops. She shoots her badass gun.
Right.
And I get tired of that LARPing, and it's just. And the other thing is, I don't know, because I wasn't raised country, and I can Sasha somewhat was more, but this idea, this is just how country people do it all the time. Some do, but I wouldn't say that's the norm, is it? Or to kill your dog?
Some people do, but I mean, we never would.
Yeah.
Brandon told me a story about somebody he was related to that they married. I won't say who, but I guess one of their family members like killed a dog and no one would talk to him anymore. It was kind of like this situation.
Yeah.
Just like, they have animal shelters. At least the animal has a chance. Like, yeah, I know the odds aren't great, but it's better than like no odds.
Right. So if you can't handle the dog, just give it up for a shelter.
Right. Same with the goat. Get rid of the goat. Give it to someone. So.
Yeah, that was. It was an interesting blow up how people were very passionate
because
about
people
that.
like their dogs. I mean, Button's awesome. It's nice to have a dog. They're always happy to see you. They don't want anything from you except, attention. And I don't know. People don't like to hear about the animals being senselessly killed. Oh, you got a super chat from John Stone.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Want me to read it for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, thank you. Evening. What are your thoughts on Tulsi Gabbard, VP? I think she is a snake oil, LOL. Any thoughts on Trump's best VP pick? Vivek is probably the best, LOL. We were just talking about that. I said Vivek wasn't even on that list that we saw.
Yeah, I would say I'm going to go with the white man, JD Vance. He is really good. And he doesn't want to get us in all these wars in Ukraine or for Israel. He's kind of not directly, but he's our people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it means from Appalachia.
He's not like some rich,
No,
he didn't grow up with
he
money.
grew up
He grew
poor.
up, yeah, he did.
And he's actually kind of the good American success story. And I really like JD Vance. So my number one be JD Vance. Tulsi, I like the way I don't hold her. She has really changed her views. And it's the old thing, when someone changes the views, are they sincere or are they doing a trick? I think she's sincere. What do you think? She's against all these foreign wars.
Well, wasn't she in the military?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, if anybody, it's usually ex-military people that are like the most against all these wars because they get to see the damage firsthand. I mean, that was about that movie, Born on the 4th of July. I don't remember the guy's name, but it's based on a true story. But he became real anti-war.
Well, you get John MCCain. He was
but
he just killed his own people because he crashed his plane screwing around. But what was the question again? Who's the VP? Oh, Tulsi. Any politician, by the way, I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but even Trump, I don't see as the savior or anything like that. I mean, Trump is Israel first. But I like Tulsi. I don't know. I could be wrong. She could be a secret spy, but I think she's a really decent person.
Didn't she go on Tucker interview her? Or
a
she
lot.
Was on, and it's like, that's kind of cool. At least she'll talk to the opposition because
most
of those people won't even talk.
She's against censorship. She's kind of like RFK Jr. in a lot of ways. She's one of those people that years ago was a liberal, but now what we call liberal now are these fucking SJWs are just crazed that don't really have anything to do with old school liberals.
Right.
They want to censor. They're just, what I mean? And she's more of the old school. But you guys may not believe, if you're older, this is kind of funny because at the 80s dance, they play 99 Luft balloons.
Yeah.
And that was when the left, back in the day, the left was against war. Now the left is all pro-war, which is really bizarre if you think how it's changed. But she's against war, Tulsi. She's against censorship. The left used to be against censorship. Right. And she seems like a decent person.
Yeah, she does.
So I don't really have a huge problem with her. I'm not endorsing her, but I know I get it, Well, she also, I don't really buy in a lot of people because I think she went to the World Economic Forum once because it doesn't mean you're part of it. World Economic Forum, don't give me that Klaus Schwab.
Yeah, he always wants to say Charles Schwab because there's not many Schwabs.
I know. But my point is, Elon Musk went there, even Putin at one point with it, because all it is to say a rich, powerful thing. They have a convention, so you get invited, and it doesn't mean you're. It'd be like if you go to a toy store or show or something. It doesn't mean you're part of. You just. And I'm not trying to make excuses for these people, but it's not like they just go. And she went to one of those, so I'm whatever. California Tune, a big one.
Oh, thank you. $20. Congratulations on getting married. Mrs. California Tune says, I will never vote for Noem because of this. Yeah, I would never vote for her.
She doesn't have a Kristi Noem, whatever you guys want to think about her, and I understand the debate back and forth. The truth is she's not going to recover from this.
No, she's not. She's been trending on Twitter. Every time I go on there, it's just like Noem is a puppy killer or a monster and all this stuff.
And you can say that's not fair, but you don't.
No, it is fair. She wrote that in her book. That's.
But I'm saying even if you're one of those people that thinks it's fine to kill these dogs, you're in the minority.
Yeah,
you're not going to win with that position.
I told Brandon he didn't know, and you told me on Friday, and I told him, and he's like, "What the hell?" Like he got upset too, and it's like anybody who's ever had a dog. Loves a dog,
Well, you get these people on the right, some, not all. And believe me, a lot of people on the right in our sphere really came out against it. A lot did, to be fair. So I don't want to, but you have some on the right saying, oh, well, it's just, women, they care about dogs more than they do babies.
And a lot of men also agree.
But it's not, as we said, it's not either or. You can care about both. So I don't, and to me, if someone's doesn't treat an animal well, I don't really. To me, it's a red flag. It's like serial killers always go down that road. They start out torturing animals and stuff.
They do.
It's a weird.
When she takes pictures of herself with all these dead animals too. That's like, I don't know. I guess it's one thing if you're going to eat the animal, but why did she kill a bear?
I'm not really against hunting, but I don't think I'm not one for. And again, I'm not a vegetarian. I get it. I eat meat, but I don't. At the same time, when you have certain animals, you shouldn't. It just bothers me with a dog because you don't have to kill the dog.
No, she could have given it to a
She
shelter.
could have gave it up.
He's the governor. She
Well,
could have
she
just
could have
said
got a lot
on
of-
Twitter, she could have said, hey, I can't keep this dog anymore. Does anybody want to take him? And I guarantee you she would have had tons of people like say, yeah,
Well, they
take
could
the
have
dog.
sold the dog because it's a purebred honey dog.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
it would have been adopted. There's no doubt about it. And if you ever watched a dog whisperer, I know it's kind of corny, but he would have got the dog just hanging around with chickens doing nothing.
Mhm.
I saw him do that because they have dogs, some farm dogs, and they said we don't know how to deal with the dog because it just chases the animals. And he showed how you can do work with it so they don't. And he can do that with basically any dog.
Oh, there's one guy in here that I think I'm just going to ban because he's getting my nerves. You're crazy if you think this is bad. Like you should be cool with a woman killing a dog. And yeah, I do like dogs and animals a lot more than humans. Most of the time,
in many cases, I
so-
do too. To be honest, so yeah.
And yeah, serial killers do kill animals if you're too stupid to know that.
Yeah, they do. They tend to start out that way too. So, but that was just kind of a weird. It was a weird story, and it was weird how a lot of people reacted to it, like trying to defend that.
Well, and the fact she's like a representative in the government is kind of frightening.
The governor, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, these are the kind of people run for politics. You have creepy Joe Biden showers with his daughter.
Yeah.
You have all these creepers and all these people. I mean, and then this woman kills a dog and then brags about it. It's not like something she did and kind of shut the hell up about it. Like you thought that was a good move.
But really, and you guys know how I feel about all the racial stuff and my opinion on that. And so I hate to give them any credence, but somehow I want to say, how is this really much different than Michael Vick?
It's not,
because he raised his dogs to fight, and all of them were died. And
well, I guess the argument could be that she didn't get the dog to fight it, because that's worse if you're getting dogs just to fight them. But she did get a dog and kill it instead of just give it away.
Yeah,
or like you said, sell it. Someone would have taken the dog. Best Friends rehabilitated all those Michael Vick dogs that were still alive.
Mhm.
They were going to put them down too, and they had so much time to prove that they could get them under control, and they did it. So there's people, if the dog did have issues, the hell they would have taken the dog. She could have made a contribution. I'm sure they would have been happy to find that dog a home. If it was like as rabid as she was making it out, it was,
by the way,
they could have fixed
it. Was
too.
It's a hunting dog, so it's all chickens, and unless you train, I mean, what does she think? It's a bird dog, and it sees a bird, it's going to go after them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's you got to train them not to.
Right.
So I don't know. Usually, if the dog has a problem, it's a problem with the human, not the dog.
Right.
But because dogs are pretty well trainable. John Stone, we got another one. You read it?
Oh yeah, thank you. What is the consensus of what your conservative friends are thinking? Excited about Trump comeback, switching to RFK, afraid election is rigged, LOL. Conservative friends.
Well, I'll go first, and I'll have Sasha go. And well, I'm just talking in real life, not online. I see a lot of, and I could be totally wrong. I haven't talked to Sasha about this. Maybe she has a totally different opinion. I'm seeing a lot of apathy in real life people that they just don't. They're not seeing. No, they're not really excited about Trump, even if they may vote for him. They don't really see a miracle solution coming about.
There's not one.
So people are almost kind of icy black-pilled, even though they wouldn't use that phrase, but they're just, what's the point at this point? Are you seeing that different? Are you seeing? I'm not detecting the 2016 excitement.
Well, I think it's because we were all kind of disappointed, and then all that
Mhm.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing really did change all that much. I mean, if Trump gets in, gas will go down. It'll be probably better for the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Joe Biden's really messed that up. That's kind of how I think of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, he'll get the economy because he's not going to stop immigration or do anything that would really help.
No, like that Walmart we went in last night, and of all places, probably just 20 years ago would have been 90% white. Now it's 80% non-white. That's not going to change with Trump.
Right. And he's still going to kiss up to Israel.
Yeah.
And we'll probably still give money to Ukraine. So I don't think it's like I don't know. It's not going to change a whole lot. I mean, it would be better to have him in because at least he doesn't like hate white people. And
I don't know how anyone could get excited because you got Trump, and I don't know how you get super excited about him after all that we've been through. And then I don't think the left can get really excited about Biden. Who can get excited about?
I don't know. My left people I'm friends with that are on the left, they don't like Biden.
No, Biden has like no excitement there whatsoever.
Well, because everyone knows he's like senile too, and he lies.
He does. He's just good for doing funny shit, like he reads a teleprompter.
It's embarrassing toward the country, though. That's how far America's fallen. That we can't have any class.
Because so I say 4 more years. Pause.
He's done that
multiple times
too.
Yes, he does that. He's kind of goofy that way. So let me see if we got any rants because I hate to miss rants.
Those.
So that was the oh, here we go. Tony, when you go to a store in Tulsa, Oklahoma, are the children all Hispanic, no white children all there? Donald Trump does not fix that, does he? Well, yeah, the country's been, I mean, the Great Replacement is a real thing. It's been kind of trending. That Eva girl talked about it. She did a speech. It's real. And to answer your question, I wouldn't say there was no white children, but it was, I would say 80% minority. I
didn't notice children as much. I try not to really look at people when I go out. Like I just try to get my stuff.
Most of the people are really ugly now.
They are. Like the woman in front of me in line, she was not attractive. She looked like she was shaped like a potato.
You're not getting these sexy Hispanics that
you're not getting like a bunch of Eva Longorias. Like
no, you're getting these little squat, fat ones that, look like really poor breeding.
But I just try to get in there and get out and not look too much. But I just happen to notice, when I'm in line and stuff like that. Trump's not going to fix that. Nobody's going to fix that.
No. It would be very difficult to have. I mean, there's ways to do it, but it is blackpilling, that's for sure. And
Guatemalans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the type. And it's it's funny because you look at like Telemundo, is that it? Where they always show they always have kind of these sexy, big-breasted ones, that are really kind of, they even have blonde hair.
It was funny. I saw on like one of those Telemundos, this guy he had a face painted on a hand and he was feeding it a candy bar. It was like the cringiest thing ever.
Yeah, they think that's funny.
Where's the rants? He said, oh, here we go.
Just scroll down.
Somebody said there was one.
Rowhouse looks like Rara. That's usually Rowhouse.
Is there a way to do it? I'm afraid if I do,
no, you just have to scroll. That's the trouble with the Rumble. It doesn't.
There it is. Thank you. Thank you, Elon Musk, doing his argument to Eva. I don't know how to say her last name. How do you say her last name?
I don't know. She's the one the blonde girl that kind of replaces sort of Southern as Pole's favorite.
Same old argument, Rams and Sasha, and then there's a Twitter link.
We won't go to the Twitter link, but that's just what we were talking. Thank you, Rowhouse. Since he paid out, we'll go to the Twitter link so you guys can see it. Let me just show you here.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah. So we'll take this. Oh, and Dylan, $5. Thank you. Oh no, we already had that. Sorry.
Well, it's coming down good now.
Is it raining hard?
Sounds like it.
Elon Musk, because she's talking about in Hungary, she was talking about the Great Replacement, which is true. And Elon said the problem with the Great Replacement theory is that it fails to address the foundational issue of low birth rates. I don't really think that's an issue. Is as long as we have a homeland, we can recover.
Well, because whites have always been the minority of the world, but you can't keep dumping all these people. And like I said, if you cut off aid and stop taking care of all these people, the problem would stop. Right. But the problem is, like, we put up, we bring all these people over here and then we pay for them to have all these kids and everything else. And it's like, that's got to stop. But none of our politicians give a shit, so it won't.
Right.
Oh, that's something I watched last week. Speaking of how much our politicians hate us, I watched the show on Hulu called Dope Sick, and it was about the
Sackler family.
Yeah, and about the whole OxyContin thing, how they lied about how it wasn't addictive and all this other stuff. And it's a pretty good show. It has some stuff in it, like there could be no like couples that aren't mixed race and things like that. But overall, I thought it was a good show and kind of explained that whole thing, but how they were allowed to do that because they had money and they just buy
Right.
everybody off. And that's the state of America pretty much. Almost everybody's for sale. It seems
I
like.
didn't see the show, but Sasha, I was surprised because she said they actually mentioned the ethnicity of the Sackler family.
They did.
That was kind of funny. Just curious, put you on the spot, Sasha. I know you probably may not have thought about this much. Who do you think Trump will pick as his running mate of the ones I have up there? I could
don't
see
know
him
much about
going
that
with
Elise woman.
could you see him going with the base black guy? Because Trump is the mainstream Republicans, they wet their pants of getting approval of blacks.
But he wasn't he kind of buddies with Ben Carson. Remember, he was in
Yeah.
there. He was like the
So
he had some position in the
yeah,
cabinet
he was
before,
in the cabinet. Yeah.
but he never picked him as VP before, so he probably
No.
wouldn't pick him again. If he had half a brain, he will not pick Nikki Haley because nobody likes her.
No.
Marco Rubio's nobody likes him.
Kristi
I would have
Noem
probably said her if that dog shit hadn't come out.
Well, if he picks Kristi Noem is stupid because the whole campaign with her would be her answering questions about the puppy. That's all it'll be.
It will. And
so,
a lot of people won't vote for her.
Right.
Like they just won't. These people can, I don't know.
And
I
it's Elise. I don't understand that because she doesn't have, I don't think, a lot of name recognition. Maybe I just been out of the loop, but I would say the average American hasn't heard of her. I would go with JD Vance. Go with another white guy. Why not?
He won't.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I mean, he picked Mike Pence, but
yeah.
And how did that turn out?
Yeah, he's in that religious club.
I don't know. He probably will. Maybe he will pick Tim Scott. I mean, he wasn't as bad as Nikki Haley.
No.
In the debates. I'm just surprised Vivek's not on there, but maybe he would want to put him in some other position.
Yeah.
I would think because he was the only one that was kind of nice to Trump.
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't on the list there, but who knows? I don't even know. Well, we have all these court cases and everything else, so it's he could end up in prison. So this is bizarre. It's a weird time right now.
Oh, you got another super chat from John Stone. Thank you. When were some times in political history where you were actually excited? Reagan years, Trump's first win, Obama, and the rise of social justice joke.
Yeah, I'll answer this first and I'll turn it over to Sasha. I was excited I was old enough to remember Reagan. I think he was the first one I voted for. And I know Reagan had issues, but I think he was a good man. And he really kind of restored the dignity to the office. After Carter, he said, no, you're going to wear your suit, coat, and tie. And he kind of, it really reflected the whole 80s because guys got shorter hair again. They started to wear suits, nice looking suits to work. And I did like how I liked Reagan. I know he had problems.
I liked him too. Yeah.
I got excited about him. I got excited. The only one I ever donated money to was Ron Paul. I really like Ron Paul.
I'd like Ron Paul too.
And
but you knew he wasn't going to win.
And I got excited about Trump in 2016. I think that was it. I was never excited about Bush or Mitt Romney or John McCain or Clinton or any of the. So that was it, I think, for the presidential. How about you, Sasha? I know you were younger.
Probably just the Trump stuff. I was excited.
Because you weren't really political before then.
Not really. I mean, I knew, my dad was political, so I knew stuff.
It was just so hard to get excited about Bush. I mean,
I didn't like Bush.
I didn't like him either. So
I really didn't like any of those presidents. I didn't like Obama. I didn't like Bill Clinton.
Right.
And they're from Arkansas, so everybody here kind of hated them anyway.
Yeah.
But Ron Paul's probably my favorite, but you knew he wasn't going to win.
I would say Bill Clinton was really the start of where the presidency started to go downhill.
Well, it was funny. I read a book I got from my aunt one year, and it was about this guy that was the baker in the White House, and he wrote a book, and he had been in there from Carter to the second Bush, and he talked about the different foods they like to eat, and everybody liked kind of fancy, nice food, except the Clintons would ask for, and I'm sure that it tastes good, but it just kind of shows you. They would have like Coke cake or 7-Up cake, where you put.
Yeah, they have them down here.
That's and the baker guy was from France, and he seemed kind of a little snooty. And he just, couldn't believe that they wanted him to make something like that. He would make these sugar sculptures that were real
Yeah.
beautiful and everything. And then it's like, oh, you got to make cake. Hillary's parents are coming.
They
to
do
town.
have that down here. I was thinking getting that at Harps. They have a 7-Up cake.
They do. It's probably good, but
I
it's just
know.
kind of like one of those things. Like you're in the White House, you can have anything you want.
I know. Yeah.
I would be. I don't know. It'd be like make me a really fancy carrot cake or something, but not put soda in it.
Yeah, we get the fried Twinkies or something, deep
Yeah,
fried.
that sounds like something the Clintons would ask for. That's supposed to be good though.
I would like.
I've never had it, but people said it's good.
Hey,
And
if you deep fried your face, it'd be good.
I want to
anything's
say
good.
it is. I want to say that the Scottish people invented that. I think I heard that somewhere. They're the ones that
Anything you deep fried is going to taste good. That's for
Yes.
sure. Yeah, thanks for the super chat on that. I appreciate that.
Damn, it's almost 10 o'clock already.
Yeah, I know. We're going to wrap up a little early tonight too.
Yeah, I'm
I guess
kinda
it's not
tired.
too early. We usually go about an hour. So, any final thoughts, Sasha?
Not really.
And again, Sasha will be doing her karaoke stuff. So thank you guys for that. Oh, I forgot to, Sasha, you don't even know this. I'm on Stu Peters tomorrow. So I'm going to start the show instead of 11 a.m. I think I'm going to, I don't know.
12.
Well, I got to be on Stu at 12. No, I'll just do the show regular time. I'll just keep it to an hour tomorrow because then I got to jump on Stu Peters. So tomorrow we'll just keep the show to an hour. The Ramsey Paul show. We do that Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I think I have a guest for Wednesday for Happy Homelands. I don't want to say it till I confirm. Thank you, K-Max, for reaching out for that. So I think that would be kind of the plan.
Are you ever going to announce your book that you're supposed to be reading?
Yeah.
Like it's been like 3 months or something.
I know.
I should just do it for you.
All right. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.